Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. We already posted on this on our blog, but thought we'd talk about this live. Yesterday, the Senate officially passed the Genius Act, which is creating regulatory environment for stablecoins. We have to finish up the process. We have to get everything signed by the president. Everything has to pass. If you remember Schoolhouse Rock, you've got to pass both houses of Congress. You've got to get signed by the president. Then you become a law. Then you have all the regulations that kick in and all of that. That said, passing the Senate with its filibuster hurdle was really always the problem for this entire passage. So it looks like we are going to get some real stablecoin regulations in the United States. And this is super exciting. So, for those of you who kind of follow this or don't, let's give you kind of a background and let me introduce myself. I'm Alex Hochberger. I'm the founder and CEO of Web3 Enabler. We're the ISV for blockchain and crypto and Web3 for Salesforce. What does ISV mean? Independent software vendor. That means we write software that is designed to work in the Salesforce ecosystem. We have a product out there called Blockchain Payments that enables you to send and receive payments while tracking it all within Salesforce. We have a new product coming out called Digital Asset Wallet that is moving its way towards security review. And that is going to help financial advisors running financial services cloud to work with investors that are invested in stable coins and other crypto assets, track them. So we have a vested interest in this happening. So what does it mean with the Genius Act? We have the beginning of a framework for stablecoins. Essentially, stablecoins will be non-interest bearing tools used to send and receive payments. Essentially, it looks exactly like a traditional checking account. This will also allow within the regulatory framework other sorts of investment vehicles that may be interest bearing, but separate them a stablecoin. That lets the stablecoin focus on being a payment instrument or otherwise a holder of cash value. How does this affect traders in the crypto space? And what does this mean with stocks and everything else? Well, we know Kraken has tokenized real estate. Kraken has tokenized securities and equities. That allows people that are overseas to buy US stocks by buying them as tokens. We see a lot of work with Proppy and others to be tokenizing real estate, allowing people to fractionally own and invest in real estate in the US as opposed to running everything through a formal REIT. We also have this idea, looking at securitized money market accounts and interest-bearing crypto and all sorts of things. These are, of course, also waiting for regulatory framework in the U.S., so most of the innovation has been taking overseas on this. But with the Genius Act coming into law over the next days, weeks, months, and the regulatory environment coming in over the next few months, we're looking at for an opportunity for the United States to regain its leadership position in cryptocurrency. This will allow the United States, which has been one of the leading financial institutions for the last century, to be able to dominate global trade by making the US dollar the dominant force. In order to issue a stablecoin, you have to be backed by hard assets in the United States, like treasuries, things that are back the dollar. This will make a digital stablecoin a stablecoin a digital currency as well as being a tokenized dollar. Now, what are some ways people use stablecoins today? Tether, USDT, is extremely popular overseas for trade and used for low grade commerce. It trades on the Tron network, which has almost infinitely low gas costs, as well as on Ethereum, which has higher costs. It is backed implicitly by a mixture of treasuries, Bitcoin, and other things in the treasury, but it's not necessarily a regulatory compliant entity. That's why Tether is not legal to be used in Europe, but USDC is. Flip side, what is USDC? USDC is backed by Circle with deals in place with Coinbase and Kraken and other large distribution partners. But Circle is created a regulatory friendly stablecoin. There's a reason they exploded when they went public about 2 weeks ago. They went public at a $31 share price. They're currently trading at $175. That gives them a market cap of, I'm not even sure, something insane. $42.5 billion. That's not bad at all. But that is the market betting on stablecoins being huge and Circle being in a position to be the Visa and MasterCard of the next era. This is a huge opportunity for Circle, and congratulations to Jeremy and your team there. You guys are top-notch, fantastic people, and a shout out to everyone at the Circle Alliance Partnership. Now, where does this leave companies like Ripple? Ripple has their own stablecoin, LUSD, that runs on Ethereum and the XRP network. They have their own coin, XRP, that's technically run by the XRP Ledger Foundation, of which much was used to, or by the network, which was used to fund the XRP Ledger Foundation, as well as originally put seed capital into Ripple. So Ripple has a large share of it. It's a proof of stake network. It's got semi-decentralization, semi-centralization. So what does this mean in a Circle versus Ripple world? Well, Ripple is in the position of being the dominant player in the XRP network. Circle is playing the position of being the dominant player in the stablecoin market. There was a rumor that Brad Garlinghouse reached out to Circle to do a merger prior to their going public. I would expect Ripple to plan an IPO at some point this year to also gain liquidity and be able to compete with Circle in the market. But both of them are playing in different atmospheres, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Ripple has always been focused on getting XRP and now RLUSD into traditional financial institutions. They have focused on getting regulatory approval in New York, having the highest level of regulatory compliance, and really working with organizations like the Federal Reserve to really be the institutional play. Circle played a little bit more in being in the pure crypto place. They focused on being the dollar holder for US crypto traders, which turned out to be a fantastic strategy. Day traders always go to cash when you're not trading, which, in the stock market meant selling before the market closed. But in the case of crypto markets, the markets don't close. They run 24/7. So people need a place to move to cash when they're not actively trading. And Circle has become kind of the de facto safe one because you can always wire in and out of Circle via a Coinbase, Kraken, or other sort of on-ramp, off-ramp. If you're big enough, you can use Circle Mint. As a Circle Alliance partner like ourselves, we use USDC Access, part of the USDC kit. We also have partnerships with Stripe Crypto and Bridge that allow us to go and do so. So essentially, as this is all coming out, we're looking at a world where the USDC is well positioned to be the equivalent of a US dollar in the current in the global economy. And other stablecoins like Tether and RLUSD may or may not play a substantial role. RLUSD may have the advantage of being a higher regulatory environment and may be used for banks holding their reserve. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on this. But I do see that we are entering a world where stablecoin payments are going to become the norm. So, how does this affect us at Web3 Enabler? If you're running Salesforce in your organization and you would like to be able to collect stablecoin payments, let me know. I can have you running this afternoon. We are in the App Exchange. I'm happy to help you guys onboard. We have a new version coming out that will hook into your bank account. You can get paid in a stablecoin and have it off-ramp directly to your bank account. Happy to get you into a pilot running on that. Let's try it out. You send out an invoice, you embed a link, you get paid, money shows up in your bank account way cheaper. We're ready to go for that. So that's really where we're pushing. And I'd love to get pilot programs with anyone ready to go. If your company is waiting to see the Genius Act come into law, totally understood. Let's get a test going in your sandbox. Let's start getting things going for your environment. Stable coins are coming. Cryptocurrency payments are coming. This is all real. And anyone who's believing this will just blow over or Bitcoin is the only thing that is the future of blockchain is just simply not paying attention. We are entering a multi-chain world, a multi-crypto world, but we are looking in a world where stablecoins, certainly USDC and possibly USDT and RLUSD and others, are going to be dominant players for transfers, settlements, and international commerce. We've got JP Morgan and others creating their own stablecoin. We have networks of companies who are doing stablecoin interactivity. This is a world where you can create some specialty purpose stablecoins, as well as ones that might be used for general commerce. And in a system where the wallet tech finally stops sucking and you're able to just swap in and out, you're going to have a very simple solution, and companies will be able to issue stablecoins if it makes sense for themselves and be able to swap them to ones that are more transferable. So this is exciting. This June is really shaping up to be the promise of this all being real. If you're interested and you're going to be at World Tour Boston for Salesforce a week from tomorrow, hit me up. Happy to meet. Grab a cup of coffee. Talk about how we can help. I'll be in New York with Gain Ventures for some events on Wednesday. That's next Wednesday. Like I said, hit me up if you want to meet, grab a cup of coffee, and discuss how stablecoins can help your business move forward, and our implementation with Salesforce can help your adoption very quickly. Thank you guys all. Have a fantastic week.